Hello, bonjour, Bettina. We are happy to see you now, the 8th of March. So can you introduce yourself, please?
Bonjour, Catherine. Thank you very much. I'm Bettina DREIER. I live in the south of Austria in Graz. Graz is a town of about 300,000 inhabitants, close to the border to Slovenia. With my husband, an architect, I have two daughters who also finished their masters at the Technical University in Graz. They are adults now.
Can you speak about your career? What's the major project you have done, if you are still working, and when do you start being in the Chamber of Architects?
I finished my master's in architecture in 1988 and started working in the office of other architects to gather experience. Then I became member of our Chamber of Architects and started my own practice. My husband and me share the office, but we are doing different projects.
You speak about some of your projects you have done.
I did a lot of reconstruction work on historical buildings in different dimensions, in town and in rural areas. For example, I worked on a lot of more than 300 years old farming buildings. Now, due to pure coincidences, about 10 years ago, I also started working as an expert for architecture and structural engineering for the Austrian courts. In this field, at least in Austria, we do really find a very small number of women. To give an example, there is an international congress every year in January, and on the list of participants, you find about 120 men and only 8 women.
We are organizing the Prize of Women Architects since 9 years now, and last year you participated as a member of the jury. What do you think of this initiative?
I think the French Prize for Women Architects is a wonderful initiative to give a stage to female architects, to give them the possibility to be seen in a great context. And we Austrians are grateful. We had the chance to visit the prize-giving ceremony in Paris some years ago. Thank you very much to you, Catherine. And I am happy I was part of the jury this year, so I could really study all the great contributions of women architects and also learn in detail how the prize works.
As I understood, you would like to do a prize in Austria. Where are you on this project?
Well, in the Committee for Women's Affairs in our chamber, we have been trying to implement the prize for some years. We got in contact with 2 ministers of women's affairs out of 2 governments, with our vice chancellor, with different departments of the federal chancellery. And finally, we had to find out that we were not really successful in finding support there. Recently, our committee decided to do the prize without any political support. We will have a prize for women architects in 2022. Right now, we are working on the web page that allows us to organize the registration, the jury, and so on.
I'm very happy to hear that. So you are the leader of the group YesWePlan from Austria, with the Chamber of Architects and Engineers of Austria, Slovenia, Germany, and with the University Polytechnique of Valencia in Spain, and with ARVHA in France. Can you explain the aim of this project?
Yeah, I'll first tell you the reason why we started the project. When our committee started its work years ago, it was even necessary to make the chamber, with its mainly male members, understand and accept that the female members need to build an own group for dealing with our special situation in this man-dominated field of work. We passed this phase, and now the chamber is supporting us a lot. As we found our situation in Austria even reactionary within the last years, we wanted to learn about the situation in the other countries in the Union. That's why we started the project. Now, the first step in the project, in which you represent France, is to analyze and compare the situation in the different countries. In a second step, we try to find the reasons for the specific situations, and we are analyzing initiatives in the different countries that are undertaken to help women in architecture and engineering to overcome their difficulties. We try to bring these examples to our partner countries, and finally, we will formulate political demands of our interest that we can present. In the international context, we hope for more echo in politics.
So the first step was the analysis comparative of the situation of women in architecture on the 5 countries. Do you have some conclusion about it now, or it's too early?
Well, I can show you a brief view of the chart that's analyzing the situation, or that's the conclusion of the situation. There are still some data missing because they have not been put in there yet.
The chart shows, concerning the situation in Austria, that we have more than 50% of female graduates in architecture, but we only have 15% of female architects who work in their job.
This comparison shows that the situation in Austria is even worse than in our partner countries.
That's true. And you have also made an inquirement about architect and engineer. What are the conclusions? So this will be included for the recommendation, I suppose, the result of this inquirement.
We hope that after comparing all the data that we finally will have collected in the different countries, it will become clear for us what kind of measurements would help to lead to parity in our professions, and what kind of recommendations we can give.
You have also a website, and material will be inside, like the result of the requirement, best practice. Can you speak of one of your best practices and show the website to us?
Yeah, I can show you the website. And as I explained before, the partners present their best practice example for promoting women in architecture. In my opinion, thanks to Catherine, one of the best things France will present is their prize for women architects. One of our examples, which is nice, I think, is our traveling exhibition that we prepared in an analog form. It was to be seen in a lot of different places, in Vienna, in Graz, in Ljubljana, and even in Istanbul. I can show you the invitation for Istanbul because it's very nicely done. Now, due to Corona, we last year created a digital exhibition showing a continuously growing number of work of our female colleagues in different places. We either have the screen traveling in its special designed box or just the data, depending on the possibilities that we find. The message of the exhibition simply is, look, and this has been done by a woman, this project has been done by a woman, and there are so many of them.
You take part, I suppose, of the network of Austria in Linz. Each meetings are very fantastic. Can you speak about them?
Yeah, our committee organizes a meeting called the Ziviltechnikerinnen-Tag every year, and we met in Graz, in Innsbruck, in Vienna, and now we were the second time in Linz. We have lessons, we visit, we organize meetings of colleagues, we visit projects of female architects, and we are networking. The last year's meeting was smaller because due to Corona, but we hope we can go on and meet again.
It is a fantastic initiative. I also have been with a German network. Can you say some word about this network as well? The next meeting in June in Berlin, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Germans are doing very well. They're organizing big events. They had a wonderful event in Frankfurt where we met as well.
Yeah.
And now they will have one in Berlin. And well, I think if we go on internationally working together, visiting each other in the other countries and trying to bring the initiatives from the other countries to our country. This is exactly what the YesWePlan project aims to do.
That's true. Do you think that the parity is currently arrived in your country?
Well, concerning our profession, it is not right in our country. Concerning our profession, I'd say we are trying to follow the right track by our initiatives. But still, there are big problems for women in these professions, because those who are working in architecture and want to be successful are being expected to give their whole life to their profession. And I think we have to work on an awareness that life also consists of different other elements, especially of caring work, and that these parts of life have to grow in appreciation and acceptance in society. With our sorry, well, just cut this, okay? As female architects, we need to be seen with our special strength, our special expertise, our competence, and not with our gender. That is what we have to work for. And that's what I'm sure we are connecting with each other in Europe and all over the world is really important, because we need to exchange our experiences and we need to learn from each other. We are on a good way, but still there is a very long way to go. And I am afraid that in Austria, within my lifetime, we won't reach parity in architecture.
So can you give us some recommendation for improving the situation of women in architecture?
Well, I think our situation will not change significantly as long as men are not being forced into caring work, as long as money decides whether mom or dad stay at home with their tiny children, as long as the society is not really changing. In this context, I can mention this survey on pocket money that has been done by an Austrian bank and the Austrian Banking Association. There is a gender pay gap, even at a young age. Boys receive an average of 41 euros in pocket money per month. Girls receive only 34 euros. This means that the male offspring in Austria receive an average of 7 euros or almost 20% more. And I think this gives enough impression on the society.
Okay, so thank you very much. I hope to see you in May for our Congress about women in architecture in the world in Paris. I hope we can meet directly on this meeting, and I hope you will come.
I can tell you, I'm really sure I want to come. And I'll try to do everything to be there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.